Hello and welcome to 15 Minute Gamer. My name is Tony and this is Deus Ex Mankind Divided. This is kind of a mid-play review. I'm kind of about 4 or 5 hours into it maybe. And what I thought would just be nice is just to jump in and just have a little look at it. This video is relatively spoiler free. I've got rid of all the cutscenes that I've kept little bits of them in just to show certain aspects of them, but generally there's no spoilers in this one. So you'll see me walking around the hub town, which is where you're kind of safe, not much happens, you get your missions, your headquarters is here and stuff like that, and a tiny little bit of gameplay from the slum level, which is what you were so advertised when the game was talked about, but you only go there once. So I was like, well, surely there can't be that many spoilers in that bit there, so let's talk about it. So first thing we're done, this is the menu system that you have on the game. This is the infantry, so you do have limited infantry spaces. So this is where you store weapons, ammo, upgrades, biocells, painkillers, you know, the usual stuff you'll find in an infantry. You can move things around and stuff, and it's not too hard to use. This is your augmentations. We're going to cover this more later on, but the premise of this game is basically you're a human, but you've got augmentives, and what you can do is basically increase certain aspects. So you can see through walls, you can punch, you can send Telsa bolts that electrify people and stuff like that. So there's quite a lot to do, but we're going to cover that later on. There's a bit of crafting as well, so you get crafting materials, and what you can do is build up and craft things as you go. You got objectives, so you got main missions, side missions, point of interest, that sort of thing, so you can look at them. There's a map. So as you can see here, this is just the hub area, the map. The subways, where that's how you get around the place usually. And then database, which I'm not covering at all because it might have some spoilers in. Basically, it just talks about, you know, what emails you've read and that sort of thing. So here I am just walking towards one of the vendors in the cities. Vendors, you can buy and sell stuff. Every vendor has something different, so later on I'll show you a different vendor. The only thing I don't like about these vendors is when you talk to them and you don't buy anything, they have a go at you, and it's like kind of annoying. Like, it takes a while to get away from them, if you know what I mean. Like, you just want to go in, see what they've got and go, but you can't. You got to go through this whole business of having a look. So you can come here, you can sell stuff. So straight away, I think, if I remember rightly, I sell my shotgun because I never use it, and you get quite a lot of money for it. So I sell that because, you know, it's going to make me a little bit of money. Money isn't that easy to come across. I guess you can sell stuff and you can sell your guns and that, but a lot of the stuff is quite expensive. Like the sniper rifle in the game is about 6,000 credits, which is a lot of money. So I guess if you can find a level where you can just go around shooting people and collect all the guns, it may be worthwhile. But you can buy ammo, consumables, health things, weapon upgrades as well, so you can buy scopes and that. Not this guy. This guy doesn't really deal in too much. So basically, as you can see now, I'm just leaving. So I'm just like, no, you don't have anything. What? And then he has a go at me, and then I leave. And that happens a lot. So you can see there now I've got some extra money in my wallet, which is good. It doesn't update greatly, that wallet system. I have noticed, like, if you sell loads of stuff, sometimes it'll go, yeah, you have this much money, but you haven't because you bought stuff as well. But never mind. So you can see there what I'm doing is just showing you a bit of the map, so you can see where the security cameras are, where the drones are. The little hub world in the cities, even though there's a lot of people walking around, which is good, like, there's loads of people walking around. Like, this one has loads of cars. None of them move. Like, it'd be quite cool to see the cars driving, or occasionally move, but they don't. They just, and all the roads are there, but they just sit and park up, and it kind of ruins for me the immersion a little bit that they're all just sat still. It'd be nice to see them kind of move, but that's just me. There's gates in the road and stuff, which, you know, would be nice to maybe see them get stopped at, or checkpoints, or car search and that sort of thing. It might just be me. So this is just me heading towards the objective. So you can see the objective mark on the map has a meterage, and then you can see by that sign, just it's a little map there. So it shows you where the stations are, and you are here. That's where I am. So you can see I'm just heading towards that. The waypoints are quite easy to follow, which is good. And there's police everywhere. So you can actually go into the cars and search them, but the police will obviously have a little bit of a go at you if you do that. Yes, they will. So the basic premise of the game, without spoiling too much, is you're an you know, as I was saying before, you've got cybernetic implants, and there's normal people who don't have them, and there's a bit of a war going on, and you're here to find out if the augmentative people are to blame for the recent bombing in the city and stuff like that. So that is your job as working for Interpol. So here I am, just heading towards a mission now. I thought the plane was quite cool. So what I did here is just had a little look at some of the features to show you. So this is smart vision. So what smart vision does is show you where enemies are, pickups are, and grates. Now you might think grates doesn't sound very exciting. That's why you spend most of your time hiding in grates, looking for things. If you can find a grate, it usually helps you skip a check, like a police checkpoint or an unlocked door you can't get through, or somewhere dangerous. So you will spend most of your time in vents crawling around like this. When you're in here, they'll usually take you somewhere to skip somewhere, and that's what I like about them. So they are useful to use. So you can see this just brought me down here. Now I don't know why it brought me down here. There wasn't much in this room as I remember. That was able to be moved, but I couldn't figure out how to do it because you could see behind it before. So I couldn't figure it out. I'm guessing there was a computer somewhere, but I just didn't look. I didn't find the computer. There's computers to hack, and they got emails on, and some emails will contain codes to doors and stuff, or just information you might find useful. And this is the start of the mission. I've kind of skipped it because it just goes on for bloody ages. When you're having a conversation, they go on for far too long. I get bored silly. But then you will get these reels of what you want to do next. And unlike certain games, it does tell you what your character is going to say, so you can kind of preempt what you want to say, which is good. You don't get many options. Usually it's kind of the case of, oh, well, ask about something said, or probe a little bit deeper, or agree to go. So the one that comes up in a second is basically me going, yeah, let's get out of here and get to the slums. And that's about it. I don't know if they have, like, outgoing games. I don't know if you select the wrong things, what will happen. So I don't know. Like a Telltale game, like the Telltale series, you know, they'll have a real impact on your game if you select the wrong thing. So I'm not too sure how that works. But never mind, I usually be nice, or try to. I've seen them influence a few decisions, so maybe they do. This is just a cutscene. I just left it in because it's a cool bit where it flies through some clouds, and I thought, that is a nice little cutscene because we're halfway through the video-ish. Just to bring it back a little bit, because you've seen a few features. So you see there, the cutscenes are nicely done. I just like that bit. It looked really cool. And then we'll just skip a little bit because it took longer and longer and there was more talking. So here we are on the ground in the slums. So as you can see here, this is a little bit different to where we've just been. It was quite nice and airy where we are. These guys are all controlled by the police because the police hate the augments and think they're bombing everywhere. So this is very police orientated, and you can see the difference in the city and how it plays out. So here's a police officer approaching me, basically telling me. And you see that a lot around the game. There's a lot of police stop here and ask for your papers and stuff just to break up the levels. Again, is it a good feature? It doesn't have me convinced, but they're usually alright to deal with. You'll see me come against one later on. But I've seen a part of a mission where the police wouldn't let you get through somewhere, and then you talked to another police officer and she agreed that he was a bit of a dick. So you see here there's a massive big policeman in an exosuit. So you can see how the police are controlling the civilians there, whereas before they weren't in the other town. So I've got my objective here. You can see in the top corner, XP. We're going to cover that in a second. Every time you get 5,000 XP, you basically unlock a praxis, or praxis, and that's what you unlock new augments over. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. I hope I am. Otherwise, this video is going to sound stupid. So yeah, every time you reach 5,000, you get new of them. This is where the game does bring in microtransactions. Yeah, we're going to cover them later on. But yes, there is microtransactions in a full release game, which I can't stand, but never mind. So the conversation finished. It was boring. I had my 2 points now, and I was having a look through and was like, ooh, what do I fancy? Now what I've wanted is the Telsa, which basically fires bolts of electricity and knocks people out, because you get more XP for not being a brutal killer. You can kill everyone on the map, or you can just literally go in and have some fun. So I clicked on there. I've said I want to activate it. You'll see that at the bottom my system status is now unstable. If you turn on these ones here, the ones that like glitching, you have to turn off something else. So I don't know why they brought this into a game, but I was like, oh, I don't know what to turn off now. So I just turned off social enhancer because I was like, I'm never going to use that. So as you can see, turn it off, and now I'm stable. I don't know if that goes any different later on in the game, but that's how it works. So as you can see, that just put that in. I've got the new telset. I do show you how to use that later on. So use that the D-pad. So yeah, it's got ammo, so use up, down, left, and right if you've got the right things anyway. And as you can see there, the police are controlling everyone. I just walk through, just enjoying it. So the graphics are pretty nice. It does look a nice game. Very brown in places and not very colourful, but I think that's the whole point. So here we go. I get to a guard here. He says, look, you're not coming through, so get away, which is what most of them say. So in this situation, what I could do is just back off and maybe have a look elsewhere. There might be a grate or a door I can get in. I could even just shoot them all in the head if I wanted to, but obviously that might attract a little bit of attention. So what I do on this one, which I've never done before, is it offered me to bribe him. And I was expecting to press bribe him for it not to work. So I give him 1,000 credits, which took me bloody ages. And he accepted it. I was like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. So I was 1,000 credits light by the end of it. I was like, oh god, no. But you can see there, even if I thought I would have 4 gods to take on, which on normal mode isn't easy. You'll get killed within seconds. I've turned the game down to easy, talking about difficulty, because I was just keep getting killed, and I don't. In this game's a lot of hours to put into it, and I don't have them hours, so I'm just kind of wanting to enjoy the experience, the story, and have a playthrough. So I've knocked it down to easy, which I have found it gives you praxis points a lot easier, and money as well, and the guards aren't as bad, and they don't see you as much. So that is perfect. So he lets me through. I go and speak to a man, who is why I'm here, but the conversation's really long and boring, so guess what? I've skipped it again because it just went on and on and on and on. It might have been some spoilers as well, and I don't want that. So you can see there's the guy I was speaking to, and now he's giving me another objective. So I decided to have a little peek around, and first look at hacking. Hacking is an important part of the game. What you got to do is get from point A to point B, and it's normally them green or orange spinning circles you have to get to. Worms will attack you as you go through, and well, not worms, and they're tracking you to see what you're doing. So you've got to unlock before the worm gets to you, otherwise you're locked out. So it can get very, very tense. Like literally, sometimes I've stopped on 0.001 point of a second. Like it gets really tense. Hacking is very, very tense on this game. You have got things you can pick up, so you can do nukes that just stop the worm in its path. You can stop the worm, you can do paths, so you can find the right path, and so forth. So there is things to unlock on there as well. Most rooms are hackable, but you do have to upgrade your hacking skill, so I'm level 4 I think I am. So what that basically means is that I can hack up to level 4. That panel there on the weapons locker was level 5, so I couldn't get into it, which is a bit of a shame. So as you can see here, I'm just walking through one of the vents again, because that's what you spend all your time doing. And I'm trying to get to this waypoint here. So there's a little vent crate. Open that up. Now just drop down. It's what you do. This is how you find your way around. So then boxes are blocking this area. I can't move them because I'm not strong enough. So I come to here, and I wasn't expecting. I didn't think I'd find anything like this. So I was just like, oh, what's this guy? So I use my new Telsa ability. So here it goes. Boom. He's electrocuted. Down. Steal his gun. So this kid here, what he does is he asks me to take out all the guards outside. So this is just a little bit of how combat and stuff works. I don't get my gun out because I'm trying to be passive as possible. But you'll see how sneaking, and I do get shot at, so you'll see health bars and stuff like that. So what I've done here, he's asked me to clear the 4 guys out. So as you can see on the radar at the top, we've got 3 guys left because we took 1 out. So you can see the big mechanical exosuit guy there. I'd never tackled one of them before, so I was a little bit unsure what to do. So what I do is move close there. You can see how when you move your arrow across, it shows you where you're going to move to. So you can choose where to move. So you can see there via the silhouette where I would move to. I then see the guy sitting at the computer. And when you get close enough to someone, it'll give you the option to either knock them out or kill them. So when you knock them out of sleep, I don't think they ever wake up, and you can like get their ammo off them, or you can go around full kill. So it's worthwhile picking the guns up And there's a security terminal here, which I decided to hack as well to turn the camera off. So I just log into it and turn the cameras off. You can control sentry guns, alarm panels, that sort of thing. Here, what I've done is I walked past that guy so they could see me because I knew they would come and investigate. So they've come to investigate now, and before they can alert anyone, take them out, punch in the face. Good night. So they're asleep now. So all we've got to do is take out this massive big guy with the exosuit. I've never taken one of these guys out before, so I was kind of like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's electrocute him. I'm like, yeah, he's electrocuted. He's down. But no, he's not. So he starts shooting at me. But luckily I just outfoxed him by walking around in circles. I electrocute him again. I try and do a takedown. But for the first time ever, the takedown didn't work. So I was a bit like, oh, good God, that's not good. So I just run around in circles for a little bit. So the takedowns do need a recharge, so you can't walk into a room and take down like 10 people at once. I'm not sure how you increase your battery life, but that's what happens. So you can see here, I'm just kind of sneaked up behind him, waiting for him to vanish. You can see my silhouette there where he thinks I am. Electrocute him, and down. And that was it. Just needed 3 electrocutes to get him down. And didn't get much from him, really. But it looked quite cool. Looks quite cool. So I quite like that. I don't know if maybe if you use a gun, it might get a little bit quicker to take them down or whatever. But you do have armor piercing around. Every gun is customizable, so you can put silencers, scopes, and stuff on. You can change the ammo type. You can change the shots. So you can do single shot or multiple shots or semi-automatic. I quite like that feature. It's quite good because you've got like EMP ammo to take down cameras. You've got armor piercing ammo if you want to take down someone in a suit. You've got just normal ammo if they're not wearing any armor. And that's a good little feature. I like that. However, I think I've got some gun with a silencer on, I've got one with a scope on, and it works pretty well. It works pretty well. I don't show that often here because it's just basically a menu, shows you the gun, you select what's on it. So as you can see here, he's just asked me what my opinion is or something, so I just select the conversation and see what happens. You can see the voice acting is pretty rubbish in this game. The guy, Jensen, he's called, is the voice actor guy who plays him. Shit. It sounds like it's been phoned in, and the lip sync is totally off as well. And just just looking at another part of the level. I'm just going to keep talking because you know what I'm doing. This is basically, I've just got the god to come and see me, and I'm going to punch him in the face. This was just me going to the end of the mission. Punch, hit, down. So yeah, the graphics good. Generally there is a few glitches, but not too many. Voice acting is terrible. Apart from that, general sound in the game is pretty good. I quite enjoy it. It's quite atmospheric. There's good music. You can hear when people are walking around. You can hear if they found you. You can see they have dragged the body away because in case anyone walked past, so then they won't know their colleague have just been hit in the face. There's a laser grid on that wall. So what I do is just walk around it via that, and I exit the restricted zone. So now I'm pretty free to move around. You see, so now I can move around freely. Whereas in the restricted zone, anyone sees me, they're gonna get me. So there's a few hacking things I walked past there. Wasn't really interested in. Some people are completionists. I can't even say that word. They like to find everything. I'm not too bothered. So you know, someone might have hacked all them 3 things just to see what was in them, but I just walked past them. So I'm just heading up to my final objective. So yeah, overall, quite enjoyed the game. It's fun. However, I'm not enjoying it as much as Human Revolution. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I find the story, the cutscenes in that just boring as hell. He has another merchant. All I was doing here was showing the fact that some merchants have more items, so he has guns and stuff. That's all it is. Nothing exciting. Yeah, so I don't know. And the microtransactions kind of annoyed me as well. You don't have to use them, you can get through the game without them. But to put them in there is just a bit of a shit move, really. I don't know why they're in there. They're not very expensive, but they give basically money and praxis points. It's not very exciting. There's also a breach mode as well, which is basically like a free-to-play game. You're not trading cards and you buy things to play the game. That is a terrible idea. It's a full release, guys. Don't have things like that in. So, overall, that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. And it was just showing a few of the key parts off. Without any spoilers, I don't think, which is very hard to do in this game. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the game, and I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's lacking in some areas, and things like the voice acting are really off-putting. And I'm not having quite as much fun as I did with Human Revolution. It's not a bad game. at all. If you like Human Revolution, pick this up. If you like a bit of the stealthy aspect and you like, or just guns blazing, perfect, because you can do it any way you want. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the little review video as well. Very unusual for me to do some. And yes, definitely pick this up. If it's in a sale, it's worth it every day of the week. But I am going to get it completed this weekend, and I'll give you a full review once I've completed it. And I'll see you all later. Goodbye.